Welcome back, and now for the news in detail. We start with Afghanistan, where the Afghan government and the Taliban have agreed to a prisoner swap. In a televised address, President Ashraf Ghani confirmed that Anas Haqqani, Haji Mali Khan and Hafiz Rashid have been released. He said in return, the Taliban will let go of an American professor and Australian academic abducted in Kabul in 2016. Some media reports say the released Taliban commanders will be sent to Doha, where they will remain under US observation. Meanwhile, China has confirmed it is in contact with the all Afghan parties ahead of a planned intra-Afghan dialogue in Beijing. Turkey has accused the US of not fulfilling its agreement of removing all the Kurdish forces from Syria's northeast. In a media briefing, President Tayyip Erdogan said it is impossible to say that the terrorists have withdrawn from the Syrian area bordering Turkey. Erdogan is scheduled to meet US President Donald Trump in Washington tomorrow. The Turkish president said he will discuss the agreement reached last month with President Trump. Erdogan has repeatedly said if the deal is not respected, Ankara will restart the operation to create its proposed safe zone. The US has threatened to impose sanctions on Turkey if it continues its operation in Syria. 4 people have been killed and several others wounded in Israeli airstrikes targeting Palestinian group Al-Quds Brigade in Gaza and Syria. Palestinian officials say the air raid destroyed a residential building in the Gaza Strip. In a statement, the Israeli military said Netanyahu authorized the operation against Baha Abu al-Atta in his Gaza home. Netanyahu has blamed al-Atta for recent rocket, drone and sniper attacks against Israel. Syrian state media said home of a leader of Al-Quds Brigade, Akram al-Ajuri, in Damascus was targeted. It said the Israeli attack in Damascus was carried out using several missiles, one of which was shot down a nearby suburb of Daria. Hamas says Israel will bear full responsibility for all the consequences of this escalation and pledged that al-Atta's death will not go unpunished. Iran has rejected European signatories' claim of fulfilling their commitments to the 2015 nuclear deal. Foreign Minister Javad Zarif said the European countries did not even hold a single commitment over the past 18 months. In a tweet, Zarif said when Iran started dispute resolution mechanism, the European signatories chose to ignore it. Yesterday, in a joint statement, France, Germany, UK and EU said they were abiding by the JCPOA while Iran was violating it. They expressed concerns over Iran's decision to restart nuclear activities at one of its key sites. India's lockdown and communications blackout in occupied Kashmir has entered 100th day. On August the 5th, the Indian government stripped Article 370, revoking the valley's special status.
International rights organizations say humanitarian crisis in the valley is worsening with every passing day. They have reported growing shortages of food, health facilities and increasing mental health problems. New Delhi has detained thousands of Kashmiri politicians and activists, gapping every voice of dissent in the occupied valley. Indian fact-finding mission confirmed the arrest of 13,000 youths and minors as young as 9 years of age. International observers say occupied Kashmir suffered over $1 billion loss in business during these 100 days of chokehold. The EU, US, Congress and the UN have condemned India's actions in the occupied territory. Rights bodies including Amnesty International have repeatedly asked India to lift curfew and let Kashmiris be heard.
Indian troops have martyred one more youth in Gandarbal district of occupied Kashmir, raising the death toll to 3 over the past 2 days. Locals say the youth was martyred by occupation troops during a cordon and search operation in Gand area of the district. The occupation forces martyred 2 youth in occupied Kashmir in Bandipora district yesterday. The occupying forces martyred 12 civilians in October across the valley during such operations. In a major setback, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ruling BJP has failed to form government in the western state of Maharashtra. This comes after the BJP and its oldest Hindutva ally, the Shiv Sena, parted ways yesterday after the breakdown of power-sharing talks. This is the first major political blow for the BJP since it was re-elected in May. Shiv Sena withdrew from coalition talks after accusing the BJP of breaking its promise of a 50-50 power-sharing formula in Maharashtra, India's richest state. Shiv Sena's Arvind Sawant, Shiv Sena's only union minister, also resigned yesterday. Shiv Sena is now scrabbling to cobble together a coalition with an Indian National Congress and the Nationalist Congress Party. In Hong Kong, clashes between riot police and protesters have turned violent in the city's Mong Kok district. The latest clashes sparked after police shot a protester yesterday. Police have used water cannon and tear gas to disperse throngs of masked demonstrators, only to find them amassing again. Anti-government protesters threw petrol bombs at the police, marking a dramatic escalation in more than 5 months of unrest. Hong Kong's leader, Carrie Lam, said about 60 people were injured in Monday's clashes. She said the rioters were destroying society and would not succeed in their demands by using violence. North Korea has accused the US and South Korea of preventing progress towards peace in Korean Peninsula. North Korea's ambassador to the UN, Kim Song, said Pyongyang's goodwill gestures have not been reciprocated. Speaking at the UN General Assembly, Song noted North Korea has not carried out nuclear tests for months. He accused the US of pursuing a hostile policy towards North Korea despite its nuclear restraint. The North Korean envoy also accused South Korea of double-dealing by modernizing its military during diplomatic talks. The leaders of Russia, India, China and South Africa will arrive in Brazil later today to attend the 11th annual BRICS summit, which starts tomorrow. The theme of this year's summit is economic growth for an innovative future. In the summit's closed session, the leaders of the world's first 5 largest emerging economies will focus on challenges to national sovereignty. At the following plenary session, BRICS leaders will discuss opportunities for mutual economic cooperation. Ukraine says it has completed the withdrawal of its forces from a village in the Donbass region. The pullout is one of Russia's preconditions for the Normandy format peace talks promoted by France and Germany. Ukrainian military spokesperson Alexander Stupin said the withdrawal of military personnel and equipment from Donbass took 3 days. Troops will begin leaving the village of Petroviske on Saturday. Stupin said that Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe will begin verifying the withdrawal tomorrow. He said the OSCE will also clear landmines from the vacated area of eastern Ukraine. Earlier, Russia and Germany agreed on granting of special status to Donbass and the right to hold elections. More than 30,000 people have been killed in the Donbass conflict since 2014. Bolivia's toppled president Evo Morales has fled to Mexico to seek political asylum after stepping down at the suggestion of the military. Mexico's foreign ministry confirmed the embattled president will be granted asylum on arrival. More in this report. Moreover, 15 people have been killed after 2 trains collided head-on in Bangladesh. Rescue officials say over 100 were injured in the accident. Traveling between Chittagong and Dhaka, the trains collided at Brahmbaria, about 100 kilometers east of the capital city. 3 coaches were derailed by the tragedy near the Mondobolong Hag station in the town of Kasba. Train services have been halted as authorities probe the accident. Railway authorities say faulty signaling could be the cause. The 550th birth anniversary celebrations of Baba Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism, have begun at Kartarpur Shrine in Pakistan. On Saturday, Pakistan opened the historic Kartarpur corridor for Sikh pilgrims from India and around the world. 3,000 Sikh pilgrims from India entered Pakistan last week through the Wagah border. Up to 5,000 pilgrims a day can now visit the final resting place of Baba Guru Nanak through the Kartarpur corridor. Sikhs from across the world have thanked Pakistan's government for opening the corridor and lauded the arrangements made for the pilgrims. Baba Guru Nanak spent the last 18 years of his life in Kartarpur and passed away there in 1539. More stories to follow right after a short break. Stay tuned with Indus News. Welcome back. 4-year-old giant panda Bai Bai will head to China on November the 19th. This is as stipulated by a cooperative breeding agreement between China and the US, but the move is heartrending for many. Let's find out why.
One of National Zoo's most beloved residents is moving next week. Heartfelt goodbyes have already begun. Visitors have started to pour into the zoo to say emotional farewells to Bebe, the panda.
So today was the appropriate day to deck out in panda gear. And then I have my little Bao Bao back here. She's traveled all the way with me. So today was the big day to come in. I have plenty of tissues and I'm just enjoying my view for the last moment.
The panda has been living separately from his mother since March 2017. Now he is at the age at which pandas must be returned to China for breeding purposes.
In China, the Wuhan International Tourism Festival is being celebrated in Hubei province. The event aims to honor thousands of years of Chinese history and culture. The festival has attracted 2,000 culture enthusiasts from all over the country as well as from abroad. More in this report.
Performing Chinese folk dance, wearing shiny silk hand-food dresses, the entertainers attract visitors to the Wuhan Tourism Festival. Participants put a range of historical Chinese costumes on display, including those from the Han, Song and Ming dynasties. The 2-week-long event also features folk music and traditional archery.
I hope that I can do a little bit of work to promote traditional Chinese culture. We feel very confident when wearing hanfu because the clothing has gained popularity after our collective efforts of promoting hanfu culture.
Hair accessories and jewelry have also been an important part of Chinese cultural costumes. During the festival, craft maker Gu Xiaoyu showed her delicate hairpin made of materials like pearls and shells, attracting many visitors.
Our ideas of making a hairpin is to integrate traditional culture elements into our daily life so people can wear our hairpins every day.
The festival will continue until the 24th of November.
A California gallery is preparing to auction more than 1,500 rare items from the Disneyland and Walt Disney World theme parks. The items for the sale date back to the founding of the iconic parks in the 1950s. Details in this report.
Disney's enchanted Tiki Birds, a bronze Mickey Mouse, and the doll from It's a Small World are all about to be sold at the Van Eaton Galleries in Los Angeles. The animatronic birds are expected to sell for between $80,000 and $100,000, while the doll could fetch anywhere between $15,000 and $20,000. The auction traces the history of the Disney parks through items such as an original map of Disneyland and souvenirs from ashtrays to hats.
We have everything from a file copy of the original 1953 prospectus Walt used to get financing on the park. We have doors from Main Street buildings, haunted mansion stretch painting.
Around the world, people grew up with Disney's movies and the theme parks. A co-owner of Van Eaton Galleries, Mike Eaton, says these collectibles will bring back fond Disney memories to people.
People collect them from everywhere, and everyone has their own special likes. For you, it might be you remember that special toy that you bought at the Main Street Emporium, or for somebody else it might be, oh, that was my favorite ride, so I want something from that ride.
The History Walt Disney World auction will be held in Los Angeles over 2 days, starting from December 7th.
European markets are trading higher amid reports that President Trump could announce a 6-month in the imposition of tariffs on EU auto imports. Frankfurt's DAX index has gained a fraction on strong corporate earnings. London's FTSE 100 index is also marginally higher. The CAC 40 in Paris has picked up about 0.25% on the back of a 19% gain by French telecom provider Iliad. Iliad has announced a $1.5 billion share buyback. In Asia, Tokyo's Nikkei 225 led gains in anticipation of a trade deal between the US and China. Heavy snow has blanketed a number of states in the U.S. Midwest, causing traffic accidents and the cancellation of over 1,000 flights. The heaviest snow this winter has fallen on the states including Illinois, Michigan, and Iowa. The National Weather Service has issued a snowstorm warning for the Midwest. The snow comes from an Arctic cold front delivering winter weather to the central, southern, and eastern parts of the country. More than 1,000 flights have been cancelled after an American Airlines plane skidded off the icy runway at Chicago's main airport. The airliner had 41 people on board at the time of the accident, but no one was injured. Another weather situation from around the globe. And that's all for now. For the latest updates, you can follow us on social media at Indus.News.